see the way they hate. And I know better than to listen to the people who are calling us names. I can feel the sunlight shining.
Well, good morning, everyone. My name's Brian, and today is Thursday, August 15th, 2024, and this is episode 754 of the Lots Project podcast, and it's titled All I Want is Internet. And I'll be chatting about the last few things to wrap up from our lightning strike, including getting internet back and getting back in the swing of things, getting back to the show, and whatever else comes up. It's Thursday. It's Thursday. I didn't know how long I could talk about the time we were down, and it looks like it's about 4 days. Looks like it was about 4 days, and I think we'll wrap it up today. Tomorrow we're going to be doing TikTok conspiracies, so got to burn through it today, otherwise it's going to spill over into next week. First, let's grab into that live chat, see who's hanging out in the coffee crew over here. Got a bunch popping up already. Good morning, Pip. Pip in. Good morning, humans. Just letting y'all know that a few million social security numbers were hacked yesterday. Let me star that one. I have a thought on that. I had a thought when I first saw that a message or news story or whatever alert. I had some initial thoughts. Now I was like, nah, that's just my crazy brain. That's my conspiracy brain. Couldn't possibly be that. And then a couple of people later that day might have had the same thoughts, and it kind of reaffirmed my thinking. Good morning, Real Wilder Life. Brewing some beans. Canadian Farmstead, good morning. How are you doing? Jim, good morning over on Nostr and the YouTube. Off-Grid Ping, good morning, Jamie. Mike's Homestead. Canadian Farmstead had Chewy dog food and Temu ads, and Granger for Rewilder Life. Canadian Farmstead said, good, you're milking this slight inconvenience. Yeah, slight inconvenience like breaking my leg or something. Knock on wood, that doesn't happen next. Jesus, that would be not good. Not good, but it is what it is. You persevere through. I want to go back to Pip's comment here real quick. Talking about the Social Security breach, the Social Security number breach. Did everybody see that? If you didn't, it sounds like good old government is telling us that everybody's Social Security number has been hacked. Everybody in the country that has a Social Security number had their Social Security number exposed. Now, my first thought was, well, it was kind of twofold, was do we still need to protect our Social Security number like it is the cheat code to killing you or something? I don't know. It used to be when I was a kid, it was like the most important secret number you could ever have. And then I turned like 18, went to college, and it was my student ID number. I think Rachel mentioned that it was her insurance number for a while. Like, Positively Growing says it's still important to protect. Is it? How many websites have you put it in? How many job applications have you put it on and handed it to some shit bag across the counter when you were applying for your first fast food job? How much are you protecting it then? How much are you protecting it when you're giving it to wholly incompetent HR people? What is to be protected? What really is to be protected when you hand it to everybody indiscriminately. My first thought, Rewilder Life says, I mean, it's a good way to say you don't need them. I think it's might be a little bit more nefarious. Rewilder Life says for all the illegals coming in. No, I think we might be looking at the way we're going to transition from a social security number to a digital ID. Well, our system we had was completely compromised, so we're going to have to start with a new one. And here is your digital ID. Here is your digital card. Here is your digital currency, and you will be now tracked in every movement. You'll need to use your digital ID when logging into social media accounts and when posting online, when making transactions, and entering and exiting buildings. Positively Growing says it's easy to fix if somebody gets it. What's the point? Canadian Farmstead says, glad I live where we're still free up here in Canada. Good morning, Pickle Pete. How we doing? Hunter over on Twitch. Good morning, good morning. Backwoods Butcher. That famous guy. You showed up a day early, buddy. We're doing conspiracies tomorrow morning, but stick around and then show up tomorrow too. That would be an awesome idea. I hope you're doing well. Can't wait to see you at SRF. Pickle Pete and Hunter over on Twitch. Yeah, I already got that. Rewilder Life says, without it, I'll put it near my Vax Pass. Starting a fake DID site for me to buy one from. Yeah, no shit. Hey, Acid Spaz, what's rocking over there? Nice profile pic. Bet you get all the chicks with that. or yeah, whatever. What's in the cup today? We got a little light Ethiopian pounding through that bag of that light Ethiopian from Food Forest Farms. It is fantastic. It is absolutely fantastic. It's super light and refreshing, and oh God. And I would suggest getting some. I would suggest going to foodforestfarms.com, checking it out, checking out all the check it out, get all the check out all the brands, the blends and roasts over at foodforestfarms.com. You can also check out all the brands that are part of the C4 Club, where we have come as members of the C4 Club, taking advantage of the white label coffee brand that is at your fingertips when you start purchasing coffee in the coffee club, and fired them up. And Brian is kind enough to list all our brands on his site, and you can purchase them there. We get a little kickback on those, and you help support a small coffee roaster. And by the way, the coffee is fucking phenomenal. It's fantastic, and it's always free shipping. If you want to get 10% off, you can head over to foodforestfarms.com. Use discount code LOTS10 LOTS10 at Food Forest Farms. Foodforestfarms.com. LOTS10 will get you 10% off and always that free shipping. So check it out today. Step up your coffee game. If you haven't tried air roasted coffee, you haven't tried micro batch air roasted coffee, give it a shot. One bag. Compare it to your Folgers. You won't go back. But it's so expensive. Yeah. Whatever. Okay. Anyway, let's move on here. Catch up on these chats. Hunter says my security license is the last 6 of my social security number. Yeah. It's really turned into a circus with the old social security number. I can't remember. I have to go back and brush up on it, and I'm guessing this story isn't going to go away for a while. So I have imagine I'll have, or maybe it will. Maybe it will disappear really quick. Positively Growing says, I think the worst of it are truly the extreme cases that have been let alone for too long, which is far and few in between. Just my experience of it, though. I can't speak for everyone. Okay. What's extreme? Are they collecting somebody's social security checks? Are they working hours and putting money into my social security? Or are they just damaging my credit? That is what it is, because it is what it is. They can do it 100 different ways. They don't need your social security number. It's just another way people fucking screw people over in this awesome world we live in. If Kyle's here, who's making silly dancing TikToks? Oh, Kyle's listening while he's stretching. At least I don't do an evening show. I wonder what he'd be stretching then. Hunter says not to be used for identification. The good old days. Yeah, that's what I was recalling. That's what I was recalling was the not for identification part. Rewilder Life says Nest Cafe is better than Food Forest Farms. Sanka. I'm Brian. Brian, if you're still listening this morning, I'm gonna have to dip out of the C4 Club on both my membership spots. Drop all the coffee I'm getting. I'm switching to Sanka. Rewilder Life says, so the government doesn't have the best and brightest workers protecting our most important things. I mean, what difference does it make? Like I said earlier, you hand it to any asshole in HR. You literally, if you fill out a job application at a McDonald's, you're like, you get your social security number when you're born or whatever, they rope you into doing that bullshit. And you're like 15 years old and you're going to apply for your first job at McDonald's. And your parents have told you for years and years, and for 15 years, they're like, don't let anybody know your social security number. Don't let anybody know your social security number. You fucking walk into McDonald's. They're like, hey, fill out this application. You're like, da, 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 da. They're like, what's your social security number? You whip it on there. Da, 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 fill out the rest of the thing, and you hand it across the counter. Don't let anybody know your social security number. What the fuck? Upgrade Pig says all by design to push digital, just like you mentioned. Kyle's a survivor. Kyle, you gonna get on Survivor? You think you're gonna get it? Kyle says he's currently learning an authentic Chinese dance to appease our Chinese overlords so they stop shadow banning. I know some Chinese folks, Kyle. I can put a good word in for you if you want. You might have to pay a dowry or whatever to get back on the good side. Jim, that's another one of my favorites. Is the license plate thing? Jim says, should I be blurring out my license plate number when I post a pic of my car? Someone might see it. The horrors of somebody seeing your license plate. I can't imagine that happens every time your car's in public. Canadian Farmstead nailed it. I would trust the manager at McDonald's to be more competent than my government in the land of the free of Canada. Oh man. Anyway, let's talk about what's left on my shit to fix here. Pip brings up a good point. Google Maps doesn't blur out plates. Maybe we should be suing Google for exposing all our identities. I want to get get one of those fun pics onto Google Maps where you see good morning, where you see the people doing shit as the Google guy drives by. That sounds fun to me. Kyle and I would get into a lot of trouble. Kyle was actually telling somebody about you and I's TikTok experience. Holy crap. The stand for this new monitor is not very stable, just so you know. There wasn't a earthquake or anything. You have several good mornings here, by the way, dear. She says I say hi, guys. Anyway, so we've gotten a bunch fixed when I left off yesterday. We got the air conditioning rolling. I got the converter changed, so the DC is now back functioning properly. I'm not using my rednecked power bank to direct wired into the converter. So that's fixed. What else? The AC power is now working. All I did was unplug the surge protector and plug into the other power outlet because surge protector didn't work. Let's see. Air conditioner. Waiting on Starlink and computer. I told you right at the end of yesterday's show, the reply I got from Starlink when I first sent them the message and was like, hey, I can't connect at all, blah, blah, blah. I had a lightning strike, and they're like, yeah, slow speeds can be caused by high network traffic, and then close the ticket. And I'm like, yeah, fuck that. Opened the ticket, told them they were stupid, and ordered a router to see if I could start doing my own troubleshooting. The router shipped, and it was scheduled to be here on Thursday. Wednesday night, I got a message back from Starlink in their customer service. That was from the ticket that I reopened. So I had reopened the ticket on Sunday night, so that was like a 3-day turnaround. I had heard that Starlink's customer service could be like months behind. So I wasn't expecting much. I was going to order a router and cross my fingers, and if the router didn't work, the new router didn't work, and the dish was still fried, or the whatever else was wrong, I was going to try to figure it out myself, try to figure out at that point how to get a new dish. And so they wrote me back on Wednesday night, and I was set to get the new router on Thursday. They said, sorry for the misunderstanding. Like, their bot didn't actually understand. They closed the ticket, and then when I reopened it, they went, oh, maybe we should read this. So they wrote me back, and I was pissed. I wasn't expecting much from them. They wrote back and said, you got to give us send a picture of the face of the satellite, send a picture of the connection at the satellite, the dish, send a picture at the connection of the internet cable at the router and the power cable at the router, and also a picture of the router plugged into a plug. And Jamie brought up a good point yesterday when I said that, is like, I don't have any fucking internet. And I barely have cell phone signal. How am I going to send all these 6 pictures? I mean, it didn't turn out to be an issue. I just went outside and it loaded. It was like this weird. It was a weird. I don't know if it uploaded on my device to the app and the app like compressed them. But it was oddly smooth for my limited signal. Backwoods Butcher says, send a picture of your brown starfish. I mean, I almost did that anyway. I almost included it. I'm like, whoops, sorry, I was taking those pictures, and that one got in there in between. Maybe with a little turtle head poking out. Say hi. So I decided, I got that on Wednesday evening. I was like, well, it took 3 days to write back. Positively growing says, bro, we're in Idiocracy. We're living in the opening credits. I love that fucking movie, dude. I absolutely love it. I mentioned it yesterday, I think. I mentioned it yesterday. Canadian Farm says you would have made a Starlink. Customer service guy would be like, where are you located? I gotta come and check out that starfish. And so anyway, I decided I was going to wait to get the router, because if I get the router and it works, it is what it is. I fixed it. I figured it out. Whatever. I'll just close the ticket at that point and be like, thanks, no thanks. Don't dick around with sending the pictures or anything. So I waited till the next day. FedEx shows up in the afternoon. So I literally refreshed the tracking. It must have been at least 500 times. With no service. So sometimes it would load, sometimes it wouldn't, sometimes it would stall. Sometimes, yeah, it was a nightmare. I was just sitting here because I wanted to go get it as soon as possible to figure out if Corey had to go back and work at our friend's house again the next day. And so finally it shows up at like 2 something. I had sent Jamie a message. I was like, hey, my internet kind of sucks and this and that. Could you let me know when FedEx shows up? He sends me a message actually before the tracking updated. He's like, hey, FedEx is here. I'm like, sweet. Headed over there, grabbed it. Came back, and I was like, all right, here we go. Fingers crossed. I had like 20 minutes before I needed to go pick up Corey from work. And then if I had sent her a message and been like, hey, I'm going to be a little late, she would have hung out with Norman and Herschel and had no problem, I'm guessing. But I like to be on time. I like to pick her up on time. I don't want to make her late or anything. And so I went, grabbed it, came back, fired it up, plugged it in. The Wi-Fi signal comes up. And how Starlink works is the router runs everything. In the version I have, the newer versions I think are a little different. The router kind of does all the work. Well, not all the work, but you plug the router in and it puts out a Wi-Fi signal. You connect to the Wi-Fi signal using the app, and then you can control the satellite. You can reboot, or the dish. You can reboot it. You can do all sorts of different shit. And that's where I thought my problem was the router was fried, so I couldn't connect to the system at all. And that was the first logical step in my mind, was getting a router so I could connect and see if the satellite or the dish, the satellite's in the fucking sky, man. Like, the satellite's in the air, dude. The dish is on the ground. I needed to connect to the router to be able to tell if the dish was bad. And so router comes, I set it up, I plug it in, up pops the Starlink Wi-Fi. I'm like, all right, well, there's that. At least there's that. I connect to it and nothing at all. I physically look outside, and the dish isn't moving. The dish is still in the position it was when we had the lightning strike. I'm getting no connection. It still says disconnected, but I'm connected to the app at least at this point. I have the router putting out a Wi-Fi signal, and I'm like, okay, well, I don't have really time to figure this out. I got to go get Corey. So I dumped it. I was like, okay, I'll look at it more when I get back. So I drive over, I pick up Corey. I'm like, yeah, sorry. I think you're out of luck. You're going to have to come back for at least a few more days. I don't think this is going to work. So we'll see, though. I said, I'll come over and get your monitor later if it works. But let's plan on it not working from what I saw. And go home, kind of make sure all my connections were good, make sure this, that, and, really everything, go through the motions to make sure I wasn't missing anything. And yeah, it wouldn't connect. So I pull up the Starlink customer service message, and I take all the pictures that they wanted, and I made sure, I've done enough tech support that I know if you send them what they want, they can check it off their box and move on to the next screen and give you the next canned shit until you get to actually troubleshooting the issue. So I took really good pictures. I remembered what they wanted. I even went above and beyond and took screenshot of the app and explained everything. I wrote a status update. I said, before you wrote me back, I went ahead and ordered a router, and this is what I did, and blah, blah, blah. I explained it all out. And I'm like, send. And as I hit send, I'm like, I'm going to have to dig into the site and see if I can order another dish, because the dish is what's tied to your account number. Like, I could go buy multiple routers, and it doesn't really matter which one I use. When you pay for your account, it's linked to your dish. So I knew I was going to have to interact with somebody from Starlink to, unless it was automated, but to get it transferred from my old dish, the broken dish, to the new one. If the dish was broken, maybe it needed to be reset somehow. I couldn't figure it out since it was powered by the router and there's no other stuff. There's no buttons on it. There's no anything. So not that I was aware of anyway. And so I sent the message Starlink. I started digging around in the app. I couldn't find anything. Looked for like 10 minutes. And I set my phone down. I went to do something. I come back and I had a message from Starlink. It was like 20 minutes. And I'm like, before I even open it up, I'm like, they fucking closed the ticket. I know they did. They're going to be like, oh, those pictures were great. It must be high network traffic. Some stupid shit. And so I opened the message. And the girl's like, well, I'm assuming she is a girl. She had a feminine name, in my opinion. Like Ashley or something. Says, hey, thanks for all the incredible pictures. They were nice and clear. They showed us exactly what we wanted. And thank you for the extra picture of your app screen. I'm like, hey, got in their good graces. Sent them everything they wanted. She says, it appears that your equipment's bad. We're going to be sending you out a full kit free of charge. And my eyes kind of must have bounced up and down a little bit because I was like, wait, what did I read? And I scrolled back up and read it again. And I was like, holy shit. Look at that. Look at that. Took 3 days to reply after a stock bot reply and close the ticket. Open it back up 3 days later. They're telling me, hey, you got a free kit on the way. And so I was like, holy shit. She's like, we'll send you return shipping labels, blah, 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 all of this. And I was like, nice. She's like, it might be 2 to 4 weeks before it shows up. I was like, son of a bitch. I was, I'm like, at least like small wins. I kept telling myself small wins. Just be happy about the small wins. Be happy about it being free coming. And it is what it is. We have a place for Corey to work. It's not ideal. She didn't enjoy getting up and having to drive to work after being a work from home person for the last 3 years, 2.5 years. She hasn't gone into the office, and now she's getting up and having to drive. Hunter asked about the cable. I'll get to that. So, in my troubleshooting, I told them, I ordered the new router. I tested it with the original cable. I tested it with another cable that I had. It was the same. This, that, and the other thing. And they're like, okay, yeah, it's obviously the Starlink shot and the router shot, and we'll send you a shipping label. Need you to send it all back, and we'll credit your account. They even issued a return label for the router I bought. In the meantime, it was only $100, and I was kind of excited to have it because you can do those in a mesh network and kind of extend the range of it. But if they're going to give me $100 back, then I can send it back if I can buy one when I actually need it, probably. And the price is probably only going to go down unless they discontinue them or some shit. But they're like, yeah, we'll send you the new one. You use the box and print out the label and send it back, and you're good to go. And so Corey and I are kind of excited. We're not really sure when we'll be back to good, 2 to 4 weeks, whatever. But we're at least on the path to being whole again. And we're really looking at the fact that it didn't cost us a ton of money. It could have cost us a lot more for the damage that was done in the beginning. And so we were sitting there, we were having dinner, and all of a sudden the landlord is mowing the lawn, and I hear whap. I'm like, what the fuck was that? I looked at Corey and said, did he hit the camper with the mower? She's like, I don't know. So I go outside. He had stopped the mower, and I come around the back of the camper, and he's sitting on his zero turn, looking down. I look down, and the fucking cable. I don't know if you've ever hit a Cat 6 cable with a lawnmower. Looks like 2 multicolored octopuses. And I looked down, and I was like, you gotta fucking be kidding me. It was literally within an hour of me telling the lady that, the cable's good, cable's fine, nothing wrong with the cable, for sure not the cable. And they're sending me a free one, and I got to send all the parts back to them, and this dude whaps my fucking cable. So now I got to package it up and be like, yeah, the cable was good. And coincidentally, an hour after you decided you're going to send me a free one, my landlord hit it with a lawnmower. Like, unbelievable shit. That thing has been there for months. We moved it there in spring. I think is when we moved it across the road. Or across the driveway. So it's been there for at least 4 months. He's mowed all this season so far, starting in like March, and we haven't had a problem. And the day I gotta fucking pack this shit up to send it back, whap, done. Octopuses. So I had like a moral dilemma, like what to do. Like, am I like, well, when the new kit comes, do I just send the new cable back? Jamie says, I got to show the note if I haven't packed up the equipment yet. I'll post a picture of that in the Telegram group. It's out in the truck still. I'm not going to run and get it right now. But so when I was packing up first off, I went right in, tried to determine if I was just going to send the cable they send me back and keep the shitty one because I had a spare and figure it out. Landlord was super apologetic. Landlord looks at me. He's like, was that important? I'm like, no, I got a cable laying out in the yard for no reason whatsoever. Yes, it was important. It was my internet. Corey reminded me too after the fact. She said, can you imagine what would have happened if he cut the internet when it was working that way? And I was like, I don't know. I would have been really pissed, but I would have had a backup. I have a backup cable, and I have backup fittings on top of the backup cable, just because I know how important our internet is to us. I can't have a backup dish is the problem. So I was like, I'll figure this out. And he offered to pay for it. So I was like, well, if I send it back and they charge me the $600 for the kit because the cable was torn or smashed, I guess my landlord's gonna be paying $600. If they make me pay for the cable, Jim says at this point you really have to think God hates you. This was really one of the points where I got to where I was like, this is some sort of fucking stress test. Good morning, Gay Bonk, by the way. I was really thinking this was a stress test. Like, how much can one person handle bullshit? And so I go about the night. I go back and forth, and I send Starlink. Good morning, John Palmer. No ad, really. They're on. Everybody else got ads. Why are you so special? Did you do a subscription to YouTube Plus or YouTube what super what is it? YouTube Premium? I accidentally clicked on that one time and got it for a few days and downloaded a bunch of shit that I couldn't download if I didn't have it, and then let it cancel, and they didn't undownload my stuff, so that was cool. So I sent them a message. I reopened the ticket again. I was like, you're not going to fucking believe this shit. Like, literally, like I was talking to my buddy, typed them a message like, so my fucking landlord decided to run over the cable with the lawnmower after you guys sent me this, all this shit. And I'm like, I can't believe my luck. I can't believe this is happening to me and all this shit. Do you want me to send the cable back too now that it is absolutely trashed? Or do you want me to just throw it away and send back the router in the dish? Because the cable, I'm sure, is insignificant in what you're doing with it. And they're like, no, pack it up and send it back. I'm like, all right, okie dokie. We'll see how this goes. So at this point, I have to wait again. This was on Thursday. Friday again, the day after, we get I get an email from Starlink that says your equipment is shipped. And I go to the tracking number. It says label created. Another one of the things, like with the router, label created. FedEx doesn't have it yet. So some guy in his office hit print or complete or whatever it is, and it issues the FedEx ticket, and then it sits. It was Friday afternoon. I wasn't very hopeful, and I was right this time, and it rolled through the weekend. No update. Monday morning, update, and it says it should be there Thursday again. So we're kind of meandering through the week, no internet, and kind of really just I was getting better at dealing with it. I was slowing down. We had air conditioning at this point. Everything had been kind of troubleshot and fixed. Only thing that was worrying me was that the internet wouldn't work, but I was like, there's no reason it shouldn't. This would be like day one when we were getting a brand new kit. It should be fine. I mean, outside chance they send me a shitty kit that doesn't work or something like that. Maybe. But I was really relaxing a little bit. Still a little irritated. I can't do my show. I can't do any Amazon videos. I can't do any YouTube videos. I can't do anything like that. Mike's Homestead said no ad either. You guys are getting lucky. They better be giving me my ad revenue. Those bastards. I gotta open up something else. Some way of circumventing. It's turned on. I was getting better at really thinking through what I was doing, not worrying about the net, but it was trying not being able to do what I do on a daily basis. Not just that I couldn't doom scroll on Facebook or do something like that. It was the productivity part of it that was bothering me. I really got used to not scrolling on Facebook because I think I mentioned earlier in the week, Facebook did this weird fucked up thing that I would open it and it would show me that I had all these posts to read. And after like the third time, I was like, I've seen this before. And so I did a little testing. They were literally just shuffling the same posts, the same however many loaded before the internet went down. They were just shuffling those up and putting them in a different order and showing them to me again like they were new. K-Bong says, sorry, I have ad blocker on. No worries, man. Like literally, I would rather you just zap me a note over on Nostr for what they actually give me for these ad revenues on this show. That's part of my struggle with how what to do about monetization with this show. I don't know really. I know what the answer is, but the answer is not anytime soon. But regardless, kind of rolled through the week a little bit more, did some more reading, did a lot of thinking, played a lot of Soda Crush. It was like, guys, it was like 10 hours a day by myself with the dogs with no connectivity. Intermittent connectivity. I shouldn't say that. I was in Telegram as often as I could, but it would like bulk load messages and I would reply to messages and then I would see it post and there'd be like 3 different messages in between. And I was like, I know this sucks. This sucks. Anyway, supposed to be here on Thursday again. It updates it and it's going to be on Wednesday at this point. Corey is at work. I'm refreshing it's supposed to be out for delivery. It says out for delivery. It's supposed to be there between, I think it said 9:45 and 1:45. So and I know that FedEx shows up to Jamie's house in the afternoon. So morning, I was like, waited till like 10:30, 11. I started refreshing the tracking every once in a while. I was expecting it more at like 1 o'clock, like the router did. Gets to be 1 o'clock. I start refreshing a little bit more. Gets to be 1:30. I'm refreshing. Gets to be 1:45. I'm refreshing. And it gets to be 1:50. I refresh and it says running a little late, still on time to be delivered by 8 tonight. I'm like, I've seen this before. And people in the Telegram group, I think it was Chris Dixon and John Palmer, also said that at points, and I've experienced this before, it's been a while, had packages that were out for delivery for like 6 days or 8 days. And I figured, why not? With everything that had gone sideways, with everything that was happening, that had happened, I was like, it's going to be out for delivery for a week. No doubt. So I was getting kind of irritated and I was trying to deal with it as best I could. And I go over to pick up Corey. So this is late now. It's not late. It's, I left here at like 20 to 3. It was supposed to be here at 1:45. I drive over. I'm sitting in the driveway. I'm talking to Norma and Herschel. I'm waiting for Corey. And all of a sudden I get a text from Jamie. He's like, hey, your Starlink's here. I was like, no shit. Really? Huh. Cool. So I yelled at Corey. I was like, grab your monitor. Starlink's here. We got to pick it up on the way home. So she grabbed her monitor. I went and picked up the stuff from Jamie. I came home. I set the dish out in the yard where we had it before. The other one was still there. No, I had moved it by that point, but there was a wear mark in the yard. I set the dish there. I unpack the router. I bring the router in. I unpack the cable. I pick up the cable, and I'm like, man, this cable is really light. There's no way this is the same one that they sent me originally. No way. It was about half as long, I would guess. The position we have to put the dish in order to get a clear view of the sky and not have obstructions is way out in the yard. That's why it runs across the driveway. It's why it runs through the yard. We have these huge oak trees next to us, and I have to get back away from the camper to get over the oak trees. And I'm like, well, this isn't good. This isn't good. But I had a backup cable. It was plenty long. It was actually longer than the original one I had. And I was like, okay, well, I guess we're using the backup cable. So I plug it in. I plug everything in. I plug in the router, and the Wi-Fi comes up. I connect to the Wi-Fi of the router, and the dish is not doing anything. It's not actuating. It's not moving. It's not connecting. It's not doing anything. It's not saying it's loading or updating or anything. Nothing. And I'm like, whew, well, maybe that cable's too long. It's an aftermarket cable. Maybe I'm going to have to move the dish and or the router out in the yard, get it. Maybe just to get it going, it needs to be OEM cable. Maybe once we get it going, we can use the longer cable. I don't know at this point, and I'm pissed. I'm like, oh no. Here we go. Got my kit, and it's not working. Here, this is exactly what I was afraid of. And so I sit down for a minute, and I think it through, and I was like, oh, wait. When I put away the broken Starlink, I wrapped up the cable that was connected to the Starlink. And I realized that I had never gone over to the camper and pulled out the other end from the camper. It was cut in half, so I only had half. I didn't go get the other half and put it away. I just left it where it was. It was out of the way and run under the camper and everything. And I was like, nah, there's a little chance I might have grabbed the wrong end, the wrong cable end when I was plugging it in. And so I went outside. I unplugged the cable from the router. I went outside and I pulled on the broken cable. I pulled it out and out it came. I was like, son of a bitch, that's the one I did. So I had literally plugged in a cable that was only one end and cut in half. Plug the other cable in, fire it up, boom, comes right on. And I was like, whew, thank you. We had internet. At this point, Corey was able to stay home and work. I was able to actually turn on my, I could turn on my computer before, but I had set up all my monitors. I had set up the computer. All the cables were plugged in, but when you turn it on, you had to have internet to proceed into actually logging onto the computer. John says that makes you feel retarded. After this whole experience, I wasn't feeling much. I was pretty numb. It was 11 days of just chaos and anxiety. And yeah, it was bad. I would have to say it was probably the worst 11 days I've had in a long, long, long time. You know, I've had some bad days. I've had some bad, like, couple days. I've had some things. This was a really extended period of shitty things happening. And it really makes you numb. It really does. So at that point, I was just like, I was happy it was on. I was really happy it was on. I laughed about it. It was an extra like 10 minutes. So it was what it was. I had done dumber things as a service tech. just haphazardly. So I fired up the computer came on, and I started the process of recovering what I could. It took me a day to plug in my external hard drive that has all my show stuff on it, because the pure fact I was scared to see if it worked. Like that's how beaten down I was, because nothing was going right. I guess I had little wins at Camper World when they had the one part in stock after I drove. Like I persevered with the parts people, and we ended up finding what I needed, and they had one in stock. That was a win. The free Starlink was a win. But really, after you get beaten down consistently for 11 days in a row, I didn't think there was any chance in hell that my external hard drive was still good. I knew logically it should be. It was plugged into a USB port on my laptop, and logically the power supply is bad on the laptop. I took it apart, and it wasn't the power supply, but the internal power inlet probably fried before it got to the USB outlets. But you never know. It was powered on. It might have been loading. I didn't know. So I plugged it in the next day, and it was good. But like all my browser history, like my bookmarks, all of that stuff, I don't do the cloud bullshit. I don't do the cloud stuff on like I use Brave, and I use I have to use Chrome for some things, and so I don't use the cloud stuff. I'm really digging into figuring that out. I have password managers, so that wasn't a horrible thing. But yeah, it was a lot of, where did I go for this thing? Or where did I go for that thing? Pip says Schrodinger's hard drive. Is it still good if you don't plug it in and find out that it's bad? It's good until it's bad. I don't. So it's been okay recovering everything. I had at least backed up the stuff that really mattered. I think I've gotten everything back that was imperative for me to function in what I've set up as far as running all of this stuff and the affiliate pages and all of that, the backside of the Amazon stuff and all of, so those pages, I don't go to Amazon.com and log into my affiliate account. There's a backside, like a back end that I drive into. I'm trying to figure out how to word back end in this conversation with all you guys in the chat. At least one of you are going to jump on that back end. But the dashboard I log into, and I have when I went into the influencer program, it brings you up a new tracking ID. So I have to figure out two of those. I had like all sorts of shit. But the imperative shit was there. John Palmer says backdoor. I mean, close enough. Is Kyle still here? If Kyle's not here, we have a better chance of not having anything go sideways with saying the back end. It's been okay. I really like the new setup, the monitor setup. I'm getting used to it, but I think once I have room for it, like really have room for it, like I physically have room to set them both on the desk. I think when my desk is actually a big person size, that I'll be able to, it'll be really nice. Possibly mounted on the wall or on the desk, but I think I made a good choice in the very split second decision I made before I ordered it. The computer is running. It is what it is. I don't have a whole lot of, I have video editing I do on it and streaming and things like that. But it's holding up. It's holding up. It's a scab until I can find something I want and really have the money to buy it. This is gonna work fine. And then the nice part is once I do that and get what I intended to get in the beginning, I'll be able to use this for other projects. Like I'll probably use this and run a Bitcoin node on it or something. I don't know. Real quick, I guess, before we're done here. So that wraps it up. That wraps up our lightning thing. We were good back. We're back. Back to solid. Jim says, so what's the backup plan going forward? Another storm going to take you out again? Yes. I think we had a very extreme case. From sitting back, and that's something I did a lot when I was waiting for the Starlink kit. So everything was back to good except the internet. And I did a lot of thinking and a lot of following the path of the electricity. And thinking about the individual components that broke, thinking about all the things in totality that broke, thinking about the whole situation as a whole and individually. And I think we had a combination of a surge on the AC side, but also a huge surge through the static side, through the air. I think it fried our Starlink router by electrical discharge in the sky. I haven't confirmed this yet. It's just a working theory. I think we had a double end. We got double stuffed, guys. The lightning double stuffed us, and it wasn't fun. Highly suggest avoiding it. So at the moment, the backup plan is to get out to the building the cabin as fast as possible. The amount Canadian Farm says Brian no longer accepts zaps. Oh, I accept zaps like you wouldn't believe. Zap away. Yeah, no strikes though, but I do accept zaps on strike. I don't know what would have prevented this. I've put a message out to EMP Shield to see if that would have helped this. I sent a message to the surge protector company, and they're like, "Oh, we can send you another free one." And I'm like, "Why the fuck would I want it? It didn't do anything. It literally did nothing." And then they stopped writing back. They're like, "Oh, this is of utmost important to us. We'll send it to our technical service team." And I didn't hear another word. Weird. Maybe a better surge protector would have worked on the AC side. I don't know how I could have protected it on the static discharge side with the Starlink. With the camper, I think we were grounded on the static discharge side. Everything in the camper was damaged by an influx surge on the AC because the surge protector failed, I believe. Everything that was damaged outside, namely the Starlink dish, I think was damaged by the static discharge. I think. I just can't bring myself to feel that the AC surge could have made it through the router and Ethernet cable, power over Ethernet, because that's how the Starlink is powered. I just don't see a surge big enough making it through 100-foot or 70-foot Ethernet cable to fry the dish headed out. Pickle Pete says, I see 3-foot ground rods in your future. Yeah, I mean, at the cabin, I'll drive fuckers every 20 feet if I have to. Whatever to really ground out the cabin, especially since it's going to be a metal building out on a hill. That will be very, very much paid attention to, the details of grounding the cabin. We are set up well with the electrical system in the camper. The engineer that designed it and I walked through lightning strikes. That is a big part of his process when he's doing municipal systems. Is grounding, is weather. He's out in Colorado, so a lot of lightning storms. So as far as the camper, I just don't know in the short term. Jim says it's the insurance policy behind the product that matters. If you get hit like you did, nothing's going to prevent all the damage. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Would the insurance policy cover something that gets hit on the other end of the system? Like, you can only put the EMP shield, you can only put a surge protector on the lightning going through the AC power coming into your structure. You can't put it in between the lightning bolt and a piece of equipment. Does it cover that? Logically, my brain says no. Logically, I'm saying EMP shield, that's a shitty business model if I can just install it here and it protects over here when it's not in between anything. It isn't like some magical device that puts a shield over your house. I don't know. That's why I asked. That's why I asked them the question. I haven't got an answer back. Speaking of lightning, before I sign off here, people have been asking a little bit about lightning wallets. Anybody that uses Alby got an email likely that talked about Alby Hub, talked about upcoming. K-Bong says, don't let the smoke out. Yeah, I smelled the magic smoke when Arsh Hashmi asked me over in the vertical feed, Trump or Harris. Guys, what should I say? For you guys in the main feed, Trump or Harris, what should I say? Oh, God. But I did smell the magic smoke when the converter fried. Immediately after it happened, we were kind of troubleshooting, running around real quick, and Corey's like, do you smell that? I was like, oh man, that's the magic smoke. I've smelled that before. I'd smelled that before. Canadian Farm said votes Meteor in the Trump or Harris. We want Meteor. I don't give two flying fucks about politics there, Arsh. Thanks for stopping, though. Hit the like, subscribe, and drop a super chat. So if you got the email from Albie, it is what it is. In the short term, unless you're moving more than 1 million sats a week, don't worry about it. Pretty sure that it'll be a while. And it's going to be, I'm almost positive it said it's 1 million sats a week. If you're moving 1 million sats a week, you probably can skim off a little bit to pay for the Albie hosted hub. Otherwise, from what I see, I haven't gone and set it up yet because I have a problem with my internet. We'll be taking our internet. Thanks, Arsh. Thanks for the sub. I appreciate it. We take our Starlink with us to Tim's cabin on the weekends. And if I set up Albie Hub on my computer, I take the internet away, then I'm offline. I can't receive zaps while I'm offline. If my computer shuts off, if this, that, and the other thing, whatever, not a big issue. I'm sticking with Albie at the moment because I'm not moving 1 million sats a week. If they lower the limits, I'll have to figure something out. Maybe I got to pay for hosting with Albie. I will eventually be running Albie Hub on something, whether it's a Raspberry or whatever that has consistent internet. But as far as Lightning wallets, I reached out to Blockstream. So Blockstream has Green. Blockstream Green is a wallet that's a software wallet. So it's on your phone. It's just like Exodus or whatever wallet you use on your phone. They have a Lightning wallet built in. It is in beta. When you go to open one, when you look at it, it says it's in beta. I reached out to my contact at Blockstream and I said, hey, with this Albie thing, I'm getting some questions about what Lightning wallets to use. And I'm just curious, how beta is your beta? how bitchy is your beta? Is it just starting? Are you ready to are you on the precipice of being solid? And he said, don't use it yet. He said, use it so we can help troubleshoot it, but I wouldn't recommend it yet. Right now, Blockstream is hard and heavy in developing and tweaking Green to have two functionalities. One is to interact with Jade more seamlessly, which would be really cool. It works. I'm not saying don't get a Jade. Definitely get a Jade. Check out my videos on Jade on the YouTube channel. Definitely pick one up from my affiliate link. I think they're a fantastic hardware wallet. Blockstream's a fantastic company, but it is kind of clunky interacting with Green. Not enough not to use it, but it could be smoother. Anything could have improvement. They're doing some drastic improvements to the functionality between Green and Jade. And they're also simultaneously working on the Lightning wallet. So it's not ready yet. Don't use it yet. Don't fucking use it yet. It'll be really nice. It would be really nice once they get it figured out. And you could have your hardware, software, and Lightning wallet all oh no, guys. I have an important message. Don't use Green software wallet, but I have an important message over here in the vertical feed. You guys know me. You know this is probably accurate. Account name, Kids Protective Service. Big red light. the little warning light. It says warning in all caps. Hello there at the Lots Project. We have saved messages between you and our 16-year-old female decoy. We are handing evidence and your location we have to authorities right now. It's amazing, guys. I've been chatting with a 16-year-old female, and I didn't even know it. Oh my God, these people are fucking nuts. Oh fuck. I'm 46 years old. I've been married for a long time. I've been with my wife for I think we're 15 plus years together now. The last time I tried to find a piece of ass on the internet might have been the late 1900s. Oh man. No, I guess it might have been the early 2000s. Fucking 16-year-old female. Oh, these people are something else, man. Like, what do you want, Kids Protective Service? What do you want? What would make it all better? What would keep you from going to the authorities? Do you want a ransom? What is the point? I don't understand. If I identify as a 16-year-old boy, is it okay for me to talk to a 16-year-old undercover? What's up, Fire GT? Thanks for stopping again. Like, I don't understand the dig here. You guys ever get spam emails and you're like, what are they trying to get? What's the payoff here? I mean, if you guys want to drop 20 in the super chat, I'll show you all my weenus. Jesus Christ. Oh man. I didn't put the weenus sign up today. We'll see. Anyway, don't use green yet. Definitely buy a jade. Use that with Blockstream green. It works well. I have had no issues. I've had no feedback other than some little glitchy stuff that cleared up. Their lightning wallet's coming. Don't freak out about Albie. K-Bong says he's seriously thinking about Tangem wallet. I don't know what that is. I haven't heard of that one. Huh. But anyway, I'm going to wrap it up. Tomorrow we're doing tickety talk, conspiracy theories. I got a few on the plate, and I'm guessing if I head on over there today at somewhere, Off-Grid Pink says the weenus sign gets all the 16-year-olds flocking over. All those 16-year-old girls can't wait to see an old man's weenus. Yeah, I'm guessing if I log on to TikTok today, I'll see a fair bit about the Social Security number hack. You got Trump talking about AI generated crowds at Harris things, but unfortunately, she's drawing a lot of people, guys. She actually is. I think it's going to be a Obama part deux. It's going to be identity voting. It's going to be I made history even though I don't like the person. I don't like the person. That was my favorite one when they elected half and half Obama. the people that were like, I don't agree with his policies, I don't agree with his politics, I don't like what he has to say, but I voted for him to be part of history. Off-Grid Ping says free concerts will do that. K-Bong says paid actors. Does it matter, guys? Does it really matter? Jamie set it up at the top. You spend all the time worrying about the other, the free concerts and paid actors and is it real, is it not, blah, 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 blah. They're going to pick fuck it anyway. They're really literally just going to elect whoever they want. So, what difference does it make? Trump can scream and yell, Harris can cackle, suck some dick, Walls can give away free tampons and talk about when he wished he had been in the National Guard, all sorts of fun shit, and they're just going to put in who they want. It is what it is. It is what it is. So, anyway, we're going to wrap it up. We'll talk about shit tomorrow. I hope you guys have an awesome day. It's Thursday. Go check out C4 Club over at foodforestfarms.com. Check it out. You're not going to be disappointed if you join the club. Join the club. Join the C4 Club. It's going to be the best club you join all year long. It's Wednesday. It's Thursday. Fire GT says, wait. What the fuck do you want, man? Got to get out of here. Got shit to do. All right, guys. Enjoy your Thursday. You make it through today. It'll be Friday. Friday is the day that you wait all week for, like Fire GT says. Wait. Have an awesome day, and we'll catch you tomorrow morning with TikTok conspiracies.